please, please, please don't hate me for this, but I have loaned out Kyondo for the year. I know this isn't going to be a popular decision. Yes, folks, how's it going? And welcome back to Puck to Prem. If you missed yesterday's transfer special, do go check it out. A hell of a lot happened. And well, we signed a rather large player. This bloke, you might have heard me mention him a couple of times over the duration of this save game. Fontana is now in Crystal Palace colours for the new year. Of course, as well as that, we signed Leonardo here, the Italian stallion himself, 25 years old, one of the best goalkeepers in world football. We got him for a bargain bin price of £25 million. And as I've already talked about in the intro, it has forced one player out of the club. Kyondo going out on loan. Mario Ruiz is going to hang around to be a backup alongside Craig Lewis. But yeah, ultimately, Kyondo needs first team minutes to develop. I've signed perhaps the best goalkeeper in world football, who does come with a few obvious negatives. But I think when you compare him to Kyondo, he is just better than Kyondo. So we're going to continue to loan out Michael. He's had good loan spells. Hopefully, his current one in Ukraine is going to be another good one. Elsewhere, since we were last here, a couple of more youngsters loaned out. Players who originally I thought would be good depth options, but I've kind of come to the conclusion they're not going to quite get enough minutes to aid their development. The first is Taya Agayi. Last year, he was on loan at Troyes. He had a really, really good loan spell with them. Didn't immediately loan him back to them, but about a month into the transfer window, we offered him out for loan to see who wanted him, and they came back and said, yeah, we'll take him for another year. He had a really, really good loan spell with them last time, so yeah, we'll keep a tabs on him. Hopefully, he's going to come back and be first team ready next year. And the third of the players we've loaned out is Edison Pabon, a player who has a bright future ahead of him. Of course, we signed him just last January for a bargain bin price of 1.5 million. However, last year, Boya was out on loan for us. This year, he's come back at 20 years old. I do think he is marginally the better player, and also probably better suited to play centre-back as a bit of emergency cover too. Between these two players, the future is looking bright at right-back. Simply put, didn't really have room for both of them, and Edison Pabon is the man who's moved on. So having now talked about those three first team players who have gone out on loan, or at least were first team as of last episode, if we now just move them down to the under 23s, just for my own peace of mind, I realised that I could just change the filters and filter them out, but I don't like to do it like that. No idea why. I'm a creature of habit, everyone. If we just look at our current team here, you can see we have a squad of 24 players, so it's not a massive squad, but what I do think it is a squad full of lots and lots of quality, and with the exception of a couple of positions, there's no immediate kind of obvious second choice player. It's fiercely competitive across the pitch, which I think is only going to be a good thing this year. One thing that is worth acknowledging is that to start the year, Zandbergen is out injured, out for 3 to 5 weeks. He got injured in a pre-season friendly, which is, well, slightly less than ideal. And we're also without Gurajaga to start the year. Again, out for 2 to 3 months with a broken ankle. These are two very serious injuries. I know last episode, there were a few comments, people saying, you know, Jack, you've won everything last year. What is there to win now? Well, there's the Club World Cup at the end of next year, but I think the true mark of a truly great team is to have sustained success. It's one thing to fluke everything in a season, but if you can win Champions Leagues back-to-back, if you can win this fiercely competitive Premier League we find ourselves in back-to-back, that's a way better achievement in my eyes. For me, Football Manager doesn't just end when you win the Champions League. I understand for some people, they kind of view it like that. For me, it's just not how I play Football Manager. I mean, it's never really how I viewed the game. I feel like part of the fun is being at the top and trying to stay there and, well, maintain success, kind of have a production line of players where there's constantly young players coming through and obviously older players that you're having to replace. I suppose this year is going to be a bit more of a test with these early injuries, because last year, simply put, we didn't have these kind of injuries. Two of our best players, two players who overlap in a few pretty important positions in our team, we're going to be without. When they're fit, this is what I think our best 11 is to start the season. It's a mighty scary 11, but obviously not the 11 we're going to start things with today. Now, I realise we've done this big long intro. We've not actually talked about what is going on today. So, we have got the Community Shield against Liverpool, and after that, we're taking on Tottenham in the European Super Cup. So, two competitions we've not yet won before, two competitions that only you qualify for if you're successful. Hopefully, we're going to be able to win both. I don't care if the board don't think they're important? To me, they are important. It's nice to be able to tick them off, but also just from the perspective of getting what is going to be a tricky season off to a good start, it's nice to have a bit of momentum going into the league season. So in terms of team selection for this first game of the season against Liverpool, Middleby and Winter, the two players I am summoning to the first team to take over from Gurajaga and Zambergen, two very, very talented players. That also means that Arjen Mans is going to come onto the bench. Of course, this man is the Severin replacement. Very, very talented player, can play out on the right, can play up top. That versatility is useful. And given we've got two pretty major long-term injuries, he is going to be a player who needs to step up. He will get minutes this year. Very, very keen to see him do well. Elsewhere in the team, of course, Fontana making his competitive debut at roaming playmaker. Collins coming in at ball-playing defender. Signed, of course, for £55 million, the 31-year-old. Probably the last standing real player in this save game at this point, it feels like. Extremely good centre-back. I'm hoping he is going to just elevate us to that next level with this season. And of course, in goal, we have got Leonardo. Mario Ruiz sitting in the wings, waiting maybe for Leonardo to make a mistake. But I've spent £25 million on this guy. He looks like a world-class goalkeeper. It's time to find out if he is a world-class goalkeeper. Just having a little peek over at the Liverpool team we're taking on today. Erling Haaland still considered their key player. At 35 years old, signed a new contract with them in the summer. I don't think he's got any worse yet. And he's 35. It's absolutely ridiculous how good this player has been. He scored a fair few goals for them over the years, it'd be fair to say. I mean, he got 49 goals in one season. He did slow down a little bit last year. Maybe he'll slow down a little bit more this year. We're going to hope so. Am I still on extended highlights from the cup final? I am still on extended highlights from the cup final. What a cup final it was, by the way. Worth noting, of course, Winter and Middleby thrown in. I don't want to say they've been thrown in at the deep end. One of them scored in a Champions League final last episode, but there's a little bit of pressure on them to do well this year, I feel like, with Gurajaga and Zambergen injured. Big boots to fill, and well, could we get off to a dream start? Tullio headers it against the crossbar. Lugo in behind here for Liverpool, running to the byline, crosses in, Erling Haaland back post. You can't let that man be at the back post. Chiric! Of course, formerly of Liverpool, our left-back. You'd think he'd know best, but apparently caught napping there. Could we go up the other end, though? Heinz Winter to the byline, goes down in a heap. I feel like that was the highlight, but there could, you know what? Something could happen. We've got a quick free kick opportunity. 10 minutes in, highlight, and, well, another highlight. This time, Winter heads over. Leonardo with the ball. I feel like to bring in Leonardo is a bit of an odd decision. It's not a very WorkTheSpace decision, but sometimes your own personal rules have got to be broken, and when a world-class goalkeeper presents himself for 25 million, you sign him. A bit like when we signed Middleby for a very small fee. How much did we sign Middleby for? It was not a lot. I think it was like 12 million. Oh my word, we've got a chance. We've got a goal. Marcus Tullio, who recently signed a new deal with the club, if I'm not mistaken. He heads it goalwards. 23 minutes in, we have the lead via a corner. De Silva whips it in. That outswinger finds the head of Marcus Tullio, one of the big standout performers of last year, the centre-back, and he's doing it again this year already. Speaking of the goal scorer, here he is in possession as we're going to look to build it out from the back from a goal kick. De Silva nods it down to Middleby, who turns his man and gives it onto the onrushing Carlier. One-on-one, goes around the keeper, dinks it, and it hits the crossbar. It would have been a formidable goal, a tremendous goal. But unfortunately, the woodwork has denied us a bit of glory. But we do now have a corner. De Silva, he's already got an assist from one of these. Unfortunately, on this occasion, the keeper is going to collect it for Liverpool. 8 minutes remaining of this first half. We have been massively on top, I feel like, despite having less of the ball. Liverpool yet to have a shot on target. Of course, Haaland did hit the woodwork for them, and while Junior, our former man, I thought for a second was going to be able to create something from nothing. We've got it away from danger for now, but now Horscher into the box. Paulo Ruiz heads over. Been a few chances like that in this game, but it looks like at the break it's going to be 1-0 to us, barring anything late going on. Not a bad first half. Not an amazing first half, though. Coming up to an hour played here, we've got another chance. I'm a little bit kind of conscious of the fact that our game against Spurs is in midweek, so ideally I'd like to rest some players ahead of that game, but it's not really the way football works. It never does go ideally to plan, does it? Let's be honest. Fontana to George, dinks it forward towards Heinz Winter, who has the pace and the touch to keep it in. And oh my word, George is steaming into the box. He's finding the bottom corner. Can we discuss the touch by Heinz Winter there, by the way? The ball was coming down with snow on it from the initial ball by George. And then, well, to be fair, George's persistence to get into the box should be admired here. Winter puts it in. Middleby's effort was saved. Full straight to George, though. We make it 2-0. Don't quite feel comfortable enough to make those subs I was talking about ahead of the midweek game against Spurs just yet. But we are looking good here. Sanchez at right back. Tries a little flick. It's blocked away. But Marcus Tilio mopping up the pieces. A player very competent in possession of the ball. Gives it to Sanchez. Inside to Carlier. Winter now with the ball. Going through. Tackled. But it falls to Middleby. And it's another fortuitous bounce for us. We've had 2 of those in the space of 5 minutes that have led to goals. It is now Liverpool 0, Crystal Palace 3. And suddenly the goals have just come from nowhere. Having been a little bit wasteful in the first half, we've just had a couple of good breaks, I'd say. A little bit of fortune about this one. Winter's piercing run through the middle. Great tackle, but it fell straight to Middleby. Both the players who are probably going to have to be pretty dependable to start this year involved in that goal. And now with 20 minutes left, I was just about to make some changes, but then a highlight begun. Let's see what happens here. Chamorro bringing it forward for Liverpool out through the midfield. Stott now on the near side, fresh off the bench for them. Going to look to get the ball into the mixer. He's going to do that. Chamorro rather, heads over. And now it is time to make changes. I'm going to take off Horniak for De Silva. Winter's looking a little bit tired. Let's give Mans his live commentary debut. And you know what? Fontana, not a debut to remember. I'm bringing in David Lind. Sanchez looking down the line for Carlier. Inside to Mans. Picks out Horniak. The subs linking up. Can we get something at the end of it? Oh, we've just hit the crossbar again. Or was that saved? I think that was saved. It was a crazy save by the Liverpool goalkeeper. Fair play. Maybe still a corner here. Tullio heads it over. We're still going for more. You might have thought with us making those subs we'd be chilling out and easing off a little bit. No, we are still very much looking for a 4th goal in this game. Also, Mans has very white hair in the 3D match engine. You're not going to mistake him for any other player, are you? Erling Haaland. Not looked too threatening this game, to be honest, Erling Haaland. Maybe his age has caught up with him. Maybe the attributes on his profile are a lie. Ossan, Neto, Declan Rice, edge of the box. Liverpool having a little bit of the ball here. Costa wide to Ossan. The right back didn't look confident there, did he, to go down the line and put the ball in. And instead, it's a turnover in possession. And then, oh my word, Leonardo, he's giving it away. Erling Haaland, Stott. Oh, I mean, the passing there by Liverpool was very nice. That was a pretty good save, wasn't it? The key, I'll tell you what, I had some questions about Leonardo. Right now, he's looking like he might be worth the £275,000 a week. That's a lot of money I'm paying him, isn't it? It actually hurts physically to say aloud. Oh my word, what are we doing? Neto through to Haaland. If he makes a save here, we know what we're doing. We know what we're doing. Leonardo, you know what? He might be a difference maker this year. Mario Ruiz is sat on the bench thinking, Gaffer, what about the Champions League final? Look, get over it, Mario. Times are changing. Oh, right. 3-0. We're going to win first silverware of the year. Yeah, it's the Community Shield, but we're still going to enjoy it. It was a good little performance against Liverpool here at Wembley. It's an ideal start to the year. We didn't look like we were missing 2 of our best players in terms of the actual performance. I was particularly impressed with Heinz Winter. I thought he looked good on the right-hand side, of course. Playing as a winger, doesn't have the best crossing in the world. It didn't hold us back. And in the end, we're going to lift that beautiful silver platter and dance in the red and blue confetti. It's 3-0 here. But now we have to dust ourselves off. We've got Tottenham in 3 days' time. I want to win the Super Cup as well. That would be the dreamy start to the year. Maybe we'll use it as a little bit of a chance to rotate things around a little bit. We're going to get forward to that now, though. This has been a long game with lots of highlights. No messing around. Game number 2. It's against Spurs. Let's make it 2 cup final wins in 2, shall we? Okay, folks. Game number 2 against Tottenham. It's, where are we playing this? The Gamma Ullevi, Sweden. I don't speak Swedish. Sorry to disappoint all the Swedish viewers out there. I did try the pronunciation. I know it didn't sound like it. Before we get into the game, just a little bit of a look at the team. We are pretty much completely rotating the team for this game, simply because I didn't realise we have the first game of the Premier League season in 3 days' time, and it's Leeds at home. So, yeah, I'd like to have a full-strength team for that one. And also, I think it's good to be able to really test the depth of our team. The one player who played the last game who's going to play this one is actually Heinz Winter, who today is going to start as a striker. Worth noting that we are allowed a massive bench for the Super Cup, so the bench isn't too much of a problem. And actually, before we go through the lineup, one more thing just to mention is, after last episode, rather than go out and sign a load of players, I used the wage budget that we had left, and well, there's still a lot of transfer budget left to be honest, to go out there and sign a lot of our key players to new longer term deals. So if we just sort things here by kind of expiry date, you can probably spot the difference between this and last episode. But basically, all the good players have signed longer term deals now. Tullio, as I mentioned, is signed till 2040. Heinz Winter has signed a new deal. Carlier, I think, had already agreed to sign a new deal. Zambergen has signed a new deal for another 5 years, McIntosh as well. I just feel like it's really important to give the club some stability, and suddenly when you look at the kind of upcoming expiring contracts, the only 2 contracts expiring in the next 2 years are Gurajaga and Mario Ruiz, which, as far as I'm concerned, leaves the club in a pretty good situation right now. But anyway, let's talk about the team for today's game, and we'll start in goal, where Mario Ruiz is going to be there. At right back, it's a debut for Boya. I don't think he's played for us yet. We signed him last year and loaned him back to West Ham. He's now here in Crystal Palace colours. At the back, we're going to go with Vassalo and McIntosh. At left back this year, Adara Mola is going to get more first-team football because, of course, 40, he's no longer with us. I realise I've made that sound like he's died. He's not died, we sold him to Everton. So Adara Mola is our go-to left-back option. In the centre of the midfield, we are going to go with Talha, and then a little bit experimental, David Lind as a centre mid on attack. Now, do I think he's perfect for this role? Not really, but I wouldn't say he's terrible at it by any means. I mean, you can see here, yes, he lacks a bit of tackling. Yes, his long shots and first touch can maybe be a little bit better, but he's still a tremendous option for us in this part of the pitch. At centre attacking mid, we're going to go with Horniak, and alongside him, Newton, who I do feel like needs to redeem himself after the Champions League final. Out on the right, we've got Mans making his debut, and up top, as I've already mentioned, Heinz Winter is the man we're going with. We're going on a trip to Sweden. We're taking on Zidane's Tottenham side. And, well, let's go out there and get a win, shall we? Not entirely sure what to expect from our rotated team, but I feel like this is not a terrible opportunity, I suppose, to see what they are capable of. Tottenham, one of the better teams in the Premier League. They won the Europa League last year. That said, I feel like this depth that we had, which I think has only really got better since last year in most areas of the pitch, I think is something that really supported our successful season last year. It was one of the reasons we were able to compete on so many fronts. Now, of course, things don't go to plan, which, let's be honest, we're 37 minutes in without a highlight. It's not really the plan. We have still got loads of impact subs on the bench here. So plenty of impact, game-changing players we could bring on. And well, we might be called into some defensive action here because it's Ricky with the ball whipped in. Gutierrez, free header, hits the woodwork. And Goddard can't keep it in. Tottenham having the first highlight of the game. It's taken a long time to come. They very nearly scored. And well, one highlight we wait for forever, then another one comes along. It's like a bus. Adara Mola, crunching tackle there going forward. Unfortunately, the ball breaks away for Tottenham, who are now going to play it forward to Geraldo. Ruiz might be called into action here. Tight angle. Adara Mola makes a tremendous tackle at left back. Still in a dangerous area. Ruiz claims the ball though. 5 minutes before half time. It's raining a little bit here. Always tricky conditions for a goalkeeper. And, well, that was not the best kick, was it, by Ruiz? I'm not sure you can blame the rain for that one. Tottenham keeping the ball in play and while keeping hold of possession as they go all the way back to the goalkeeper. We've lacked a little something today. A little bit of a killer edge, I suppose. Ricky bringing the ball forward. One-on-one. We're a goal behind. Samuele Ricky with the goal. The Italian stallion himself at centre mid. Scores. It's kind of been coming. I mean, if we look at the overall stats, it's been, I'd say, an even half. Tottenham edging out possession. But just a ton of space found here. I mean, who was that on? I feel like Vassalo has gone wandering there. Am I allowed to blame Vassalo? He's our left centre-back. Didn't look like he was playing left centre-back there, did it? Anyway, we need to respond immediately. If we go a second goal down before half-time, we might have to take some radical action, and I don't really want to do that. Not yet, at least. Vassalo, maybe got to redeem himself a little bit here in possession. Horniak plays it through to Newton. Lovely, lovely build-up play here. Bowyer, dispossessed by Skip, but it falls to David Lind. He's through. He forces a save out the goalkeeper, but maybe should have done better there with that opportunity. Not happy after that first half. You've been absolutely terrible. How many subs do we get in this competition? How radically can I change things here if I want to? So I've checked the rules. I can only make 3 subs. We get 1 more if it goes to extra time. As things stand right now, it doesn't look like it's going to go to extra time. I'm going to make 1 change, I think, to start things. I'm going to bring in De Silva. I feel like his leadership is important. His set pieces are very good for us on his wand of a left foot. And Newton just hasn't been very good. And while speaking of De Silva, if we score from this, I look like a genius. Ball whipped in. It's been dealt with. Kamara now bringing it forward for Tottenham on the counter-attack. Great tackle by McIntosh. Bowyer now with the ball for us, stepping out with it. Dispossessed, but it falls to Mans, who's going to play it forward to Horniak. He squares it. David Lind can't quite get there. Oh my God, what just happened? The keeper cleared it. It hit a player and then nearly ended up in the back of the net. Tottenham knocking the ball around patiently, then lumping it forward towards Gutierrez. We read the ball well, though, and now Horniak in possession. Plays it forward to Heinz Winter. He's through one-on-one. He scores. But the assistant's flag is up on the far side. It's not going to count. I don't think. I mean, is it going to count? The flag was raised. It's not going to count. An hour gone here. We've not been that much better in the second half. And right as I was about to talk about making changes, maybe I'm going to live to regret delaying them. Or maybe it was wise just to wait that extra 5 minutes. Because De Silva's bringing it forward. He's looked very good since he's come on. Lind now with it. Back with De Silva. Captain fantastic. Adara Mola forward to David Lind. He's been very involved in our play. Plays it towards Horniak. It was an ambitious ball. It very nearly paid off. Now with Mans for us. Keeps it in play. McIntosh stepping out as the centre-back. Confident in the ball. Gives it to Lind. Gives it to Winter. What a lovely, lovely goal that is. David Lind has been integral to our play. Some defence-splitting passes. And that one there, duly finished by Heinz Winter. McIntosh, by the way. This ball here by the centre-back is sensational. Switches it over. Lind takes it down. Squares it across. And then Winter finds the bottom corner, makes it 1-1. Winter scoring equalisers in European Cup finals. Name a more iconic duo. I'll wait. McIntosh, Vassalo, bringing it out. Gives it to Horniak, who's going to look to play it forward to Heinz Winter, who's very, very quick. One-on-one. Oh, we should have finished that. 20 minutes left, 2 subs in our back pocket. Mans hasn't had the best of games, so I'm going to take him off and I'm going to bring in Middleby, I think, to play at striker. Elsewhere, Horniak's on a booking, which does scare me slightly, so we're going to mix things up slightly. I'm bringing in George. He scored in the last game. He's a little bit of an impact player. Normally plays that slightly deeper position in our team, but today he's going to slot in at shadow striker and hopefully do the business. He is a businessman. He's all about the business. And well, here he is. George, one-on-one. Can he finish it? Of course he can. He's all about the business. Oh my word. Impact sub, instant impact, 2-1. We've turned this game around. Really, really nice play. De Silva with the assist, if I'm not mistaken, too. Oh, I love it when a plan comes together. Middleby holding it up as that sub-striker. And while the fresh legs into the final third we brought on have made the impact, that finish, confident as you like. And it's 2-1 here. 5 minutes left in this game. I don't want to change anything tactically. I'm taking my hands off the keyboard and mouse. We're not changing anything. I feel like the plan has worked in the second half. The subs have had their impact. Hopefully we're going to be able to hold on here, though, because now Fernandez is bringing it forward. Maybe I should have turned on time wasting. Or maybe it doesn't even matter. I don't know what Fernandez is doing there. If he was my player, I'd be livid with him there. Wasteful, disappointing, and with minutes left that are trickling away, we are going to win both cup finals today. Wasn't plain sailing, was it, this second one? But the rotated 11 got over the line with a little bit of help from the first team. A nice little performance. A 2-1 win. George and Winter with the goals. De Silva key, I think, to everything we did there. And actually, the goals we scored were really, really nice. And, well, you know what the best thing about all of this is? Mario Ruiz lifting the trophy. Brings a tear to my eye, but have replaced him. So can I really afford to be emotional? Absolutely not. We didn't play well. We can play better than that. But you know what? Sometimes you don't have to be at your very best. And that was certainly the case today. We lift the European UEFA Super Cup. 2 cup finals, a very, very nice way to start the year. But now the hard work begins. Retaining the Premier League and aiming to retain the Champions League. Not many teams are able to do both those things in back-to-back seasons. Just looking at the season preview, according to the bookies, we are the favourites, but both Manchester clubs breathing down our necks. You can see here we have 4 players in the Media Dream 11 as well, which is really cool to see. And of course, the Champions League is also on the horizon. The group stage draw for that not yet made. Qualifying rounds are going on. I'm sure we'll have a better idea what's going on there next time. Thank you for watching as always today, guys. Not going to be an easy start to the season without Gurajaga or Zamberg, and 2 very, very important players missing for us, but we did okay without them today. Hopefully we can keep this level of performance up. Hopefully we get off to a good league season start. In terms of when we're going to be back next time, I'm not entirely sure. I think we'll see how the league is playing out and where different people are, who we get in the Champions League perhaps, and kind of take things from there. I am aware Liverpool is our 3rd game of the league season. We've just beaten them 3-0. I don't want to take them on again tomorrow. Thank you for watching as always. If you've enjoyed today's video, do drop a like on it. Let me know what you make of the transfer business. Do I need to be worried? Fontana didn't really have the debut to remember. I'm sure it'll be better tomorrow. I'll see you guys then. It is me, Jack, and yeah, I'll talk to you all in a bit. I'm out.